To activate your Arion account, visit arion.themico.edu.jm. You will need your student ID number provided in your letter of acceptance. Click on the account activation link and complete the form by entering the requested information. After completing the form, click on the blue Activate button. Please remember the password you create during this process, as it will be the password you use to log into the area. Once activated, log in with your ID number and your password. You are now on the Arion homepage. On the left side of the page, you'll find your name, student ID number, and your generated Mico email address. This email address will be the primary means of communication between you and the Mico. Take a moment and send an email from your personal address requesting the activation of your Mico email. Be sure to include your full name, student ID number, and the email address listed on the homepage. Send it to helpdesk@themico.edu.jm. The homepage also includes a progress tracker for your degree and your GPA. To choose your courses, select Academics. From the registration category, select Register for Classes. Under the open registration period, there are several program levels. For this tutorial, we'll be selecting courses from the Student Timetable Undergrad Main Campus. Click Begin Continue Registration. On the course selection page, you can search for a course by typing a part of the course name or the course code. For example, if you are looking for Foundations of Language, you can type FOUN into the search field and click the search button to see the matching results. The number shown under the seats column indicates how many seats are still available for that course. To reserve a seat, simply click Reserve next to the chosen course. You will see a confirmation message indicating that your course has been successfully added. All your reserved courses will be listed in the Selected Course section of the page. Now, let's add another course. This time using the course code, Intro to Psychology. Enter PPSY1101 into the search field and click Search. Select Reserve to secure a seat in the class. Click the Continue to Next Step button to go to steps 2 and 3. At step 3, you are now required to apply for financial clearance using the link available on our webpage. After you make and submit your payment to Student Finance, you will receive a confirmation email from them regarding your status. Once your payment is approved, you can move on to step 4. If you have not yet completed your registration, do this to remove a course. Select Academics. From the registration category, select Register for Classes. Select your program level from the open registration period. Click Begin Continue Registration. Select Step 1. A message indicating if you are navigating to a previously completed step will appear. Select Yes to continue. All reserved courses will appear under the Selected Courses section of the page. To delete a course, simply click Remove. A confirmation dialog will appear verifying your request. Select OK. Your course has been successfully removed.
Hi, do you have any queries? Need assistance? We have you covered here at the Student Services Department of the Mico University College. Visit us for all your queries and student-related matters. Come along.
From health insurance to identification card requests, welfare support, financial aid, career placement, our support team is here to assist you every step of the way.
Let's make your college experience smooth and enjoyable. Stop by our office today.
Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here with you all. I'd like to welcome you for our third day of orientation. My name is Kirsten Bowen. I am the Commissioner of External Relations for the interim period on the Guild Council for the Mico University College, and as well as the President of the Adventist Fraternity. And I'll be here to lead us out. And I said lead us out because I need us all to participate wherever we are. Right. So I'm going to be leading out in the devotional for this evening. So we're going to sing a few choruses, well-known choruses that everyone should know, so that wherever you are, even if you're driving, join us in singing. So it's starting off with What a Mighty God We Serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. What a mighty God we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth. What a mighty God. We're gonna sing a little oil. A little oil in my lamp. A little more oil in my lamp. I bring oil in my lamp. Keep it burning till the break of day. We're singing Hosanna. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna, sing Hosanna to the King. Goodbye, world. I'll stay no longer with you. Goodbye, pleasures of sin. I'll stay no longer with you. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. Go God's way the rest of. I've got my mind. I've got my mind. And I won't want to see my Jesus someday. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back because I want my Jesus someday. Born again. Born again. Thank God I'm born again. Born again. Thank God I'm born again. I am born of the water, the spirit, and the blood. Thank God I'm born again. I am born of the water, the spirit, and the blood. Singing my mama, my mama, my mama, my mama, this. My mama, my mama, my mama, this. My Lord is sweet, my Lord is sweet, my Lord is sweet, my Lord is sweet, my Lord is sweet. My Lord is sweet, my Lord is sweet, my Lord is sweet, my Lord is sweet, my Lord is sweet. Jesus' name so sweet. Emmanuel name so sweet. Jesus' name so sweet. Emmanuel name so sweet. And every rock me upon Jesus. Every rock on Jesus, Jesus' name so sweet. Amen. 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 All right. I hope that we're awake and we've refreshed from the up and down of the day. So I'm here, not for long, quickly to talk. So we're going to talk about Joshua 1, verse 19, and it reads, Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. We're talking about new beginnings. So starting university, starting college, no matter what age it is, no matter if you started and came back, every time you start something new, you're stepping into unknown territory. And I think it's probably one of the scariest things you can do. Allow yourself to go into a new space, meaning new friends, new teachers, new challenges, new work, new issues, new money. And you're like, I don't know what to do. I feel weak. I feel powerless because as humans, we always have the need and we feel the urge to want to know what's going to happen. And it's always hard to start something without knowing what's going to happen. We know what we want to happen, but we may not know what exactly is going to happen. So we get feelings of excitement, nervousness, overwhelm, anger, stress. It is the most up and down period, starting something new and getting into the orientation of anything. And if we look at Joshua's example, Joshua reminds us that he had to lead the Israelites into the promised land after Moses. So there was this man that was having a close personal relationship with God. And we hear about big Moses and all the miracles he did. And then Moses dies. And then Joshua has to lead them. And he's like, I'm used to being a second in command. I am the backseat man. I help out behind the scenes. And now I'm being thrown into this new role where I have to lead so many people that do the last man so bad. And I have to now lead them. But he didn't know what was ahead. But God gave him one assurance, one thing that was supposed to stay with him. And I think it should be our assurance going into this new year. I am with you wherever you go. Now, when I started Mico in 2022, I was fresh from high school and things were scary because I'm coming from a place where the work wasn't as hard. I was familiar with the people. I spent 5 years there. And I'm stepping into a place with new people, new work, a new area. And it was one of the first devotional activities I had where they went through this scripture, Joshua 1, verse 9. And they kept saying, He will be with you wherever you go. And it became so evident throughout the year because God was with me in my exam rooms. God was with me in the classroom. God was with me in the group meetings where people were just getting on my nerve. God was with me in the WhatsApp chat when I had to stop myself from cussing out some people. And God has been with me through all of my years here. And now heading into fourth year, it's very scary. Yes, I've been here before, but at the end of the day, it's a new environment, it's a new place, it's a new beginning for me. And I could rest assured and I could be comfortable and calm and prepared to face it head on, because I'm so sure and I'm so assured, because of stories like these, that God will be with me wherever I am, wherever I go, that He has prepared a place for me. And I know when we hear the scripture, we think about heaven and what He has prepared for us for when He returns. But if we look at, God has prepared a place for me at the Mico. God has prepared a place for me at work. God has prepared a place for me at church. If we think that God has prepared before your arrival, then there's nothing to worry about. It's got place thought out for you. So just like Joshua, you don't have all the answers now. You're scared, you're feeling all these new emotions. But we can walk into courage, and we can walk in with courage, because God doesn't leave us to deal with it by ourselves and leave us to our own human power and our own human devices, but He's walking on the journey with us. So we don't need to compare ourselves to the second years. You don't need to compare yourselves to your fellow first years and doubt your own ability, because at the end of the day, your ability is not what's going to take you through this year, and your power isn't what's going to get you through this. It's God's. So no fear, no failure. That's our motto going into first year. No fear and no failure. Amen? Amen. Hallelujah. So we're going to pray. I'm going to ask that wherever we are, if possible, that we just get in the attitude for prayer. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for your all-knowing power. We want to thank you for allowing every single person at this orientation now and those to come, for getting them into this new chapter of life, getting them ready for the plans that you have prepared for them. Lord, I ask that you calm all anxieties, you calm all fears, you calm all stress. You remove it and allow only your glory and only your goodness and your power to shine through every single person coming here. Lord, I ask that you be with them, you hold them, and you write those papers with them, and you do the group work with them, and make the charts with them, so that they never feel that they're left alone and that the burden is too rough, because they know that you're carrying the burden with them and you're carrying them through their years here. So I pray that this upcoming batch is a batch full of success, it's a batch full of greatness, a batch that has no fear and has no failure, but is prepared for success with you. Guide everyone here, the teachers, the administration, all staff that are going out of their way and putting the effort into making sure this experience is as smooth and easy as possible to eradicate that fear and that stress. Lord, I pray for them to have strength, and I pray for us coming back that we are also able to have strength, so we can merge into the lovely Mico family that you have put at the Mico for this year. Guide us, keep us, and protect us. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. That was wonderful. No fear, no failure. And that's a good way to start. No fear, no failure, because the word of God tells us, tell you to be strong in the might of God, because God is able to take you through and help you to be successful, be courageous and strong in Him. Thank you very much, Miss Boyne. A pleasant good evening to all. Those on the YouTube and Zoom platform, so good to have you. I am George Jobson, Facilities Manager of the Mico University College, and this evening I serve as your moderator. This is the third day of our week of orientation, and I am sure that you will agree with me that the 2 previous days have been very informative and beneficial. It is very important to know that at at the Mico, all our students are very special to us, and we take pride in giving you nothing but the best, excellent service. Here, we don't offer half-hearted service, and that's why our motto is do it with thy might. So I want to say to our new students that when you come, hold nothing back, but put everything into it. No fear, no failure. At this time, we will hear from our Vice President of Administration, Mr. Rudolph Sewell, who will give the official welcome and remarks. Mr. Sewell.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jobson. Good afternoon, colleagues and students. I'm in a very reflective mode. I've been thinking that I am welcoming as a member of staff the 35th batch of students, and as Vice President Administration, the 8th batch. So this is very important to me. I need to tell you that the Office of Vice President Administration coordinates all non-academic activities except for registry, accounts, human resources, and quality assurance. And so what you'll find over the next 2 days is that the presentations will be based on those support services, which are extremely important as you focus on your core goal, which is educational attainment. I would like, though, this is midpoint in orientation, and I need to say to you too that the Student Affairs Department, Student Services rather, which coordinates orientation, is also a part of this division. I'm going to share screen with you a little bit because we're at midpoint of orientation. And I just thought I could use about 3 minutes to just highlight the key lessons, the key issues that were raised, and to ensure that we are on the same page. All right, I'll do my usual test. Moderator, are you able to see my screen and hear me quite well?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So students, I've been watching carefully. I've been in the chat, I've responded to some of the queries, I've made some observation, I've been through it. And I just thought we just need to pause at midpoint to just reflect on some key lessons and some things that we ought to be sure about. One of those is the fact that having gotten your acceptance letter, there are 2 critical actions. One of them is that you must activate your Arian Student Management System account. And of course, guidelines are on the website. I'll speak to that in a little while. A video was being played, but this is the interface between you and lecturers, selection of courses, getting grades, all of that. So that is important. And you also must activate your Mico email account because that is how we're able to manage our communication. The guidelines are actually on the website. And whenever you receive your acceptance packages, you usually get the links. I'm just going back through these just to ensure we're on the same page. So if you go to the website, there's a section called Student Quick Links, and you will see a section Registration Info and Guidelines. And once you go there, all the steps, you know, it might not be 13 steps, Sir Patrick, but all the steps in terms of activating your account, in terms of activating your email and everything else is right at that link. So I encourage you to use that facility. English proficiency, that came up strongly. And I just want to again put this in perspective to ensure we are all on the same page. The first course you do in language and communication in the institution is Foundation English. However, given the requirements of Foundation English, the persons who have researched it have found that a student who has achieved grade 1 in CSEC English A can be exempted. So that's where we start. It's Foundation English, but if you have grade 1 in CSEC English A, you're automatically exempted. Let's say you had a bad day on that time when you did the exam. The Mico has created a proficiency test. And once you score 70% or higher, then you're also exempted from Foundation English. Those who are exempted will do a course called Essentials of Communication. That is what we're talking about. There have been 2 sittings of the English proficiency test. For the first one, the results are promised for this Friday. And for the second sitting, it will be early next week. So that is the issue with regards to English proficiency. So what we're actually doing Foundation English is not saying that you're being demoted. Doing Essential is saying that you have been exempted based on prior performance. Another point that came up is the matter of when we talk about the divisions in the year. Semester 1, that's September to December. We need to hold that clearly in our minds. Semester 2 is January to May of 2026. And there's a summer session that runs from June to August. So when we use the language, you're paying for a semester, you're sitting for a semester, you're looking at September to December in the first place, then January to May, and if you're on a program which requires summer, then it's June to August. That came out, and I just thought I needed to emphasize it. There are 3 categories of courses all students do. Last night, we got a good presentations on why these courses are there. Because you're adult learners, and you must be convinced. But let's break it down. There's a category called general education, because you're going to be a teacher, and I'm going to speak to that in a little while. For that, in your first semester, you do Foundation English or Essential of Communication based on what we just discussed. Then you have Conversational Spanish and Literacy in the Content area. Listen carefully now. You do one of these in first and the other in second. That's why you have an or there. So if you do Conversational Spanish in semester 1, then come semester 2, you'll do Literacy in the Content area, and vice versa. So whichever of those you can get into at this point, it's okay. Civics is also offered, and it's offered in semester 1 and 2, but as best as possible, try to get it in 1. So those are your general education courses, all right? Semester 1. I am not the expert to tell you about the 4-year spread. I'm telling you about what you should be selecting now, all right? The information literacy in the digital age is handled a little differently. It's a 6-weekly cycle, and usually they don't ask you to register at this time. When they are ready for that, they will advertise it, and there's a particular process to go through. And once you're in the Mico email, that will be very clear with all the instructions. So now you're understanding, these are the 3, whether Foundation English or Essential Communication, Conversational Spanish or Literacy in the Content area, as well as Civics. Those you need to have. Then we have a category called Professional Studies, and they're starting you off quite easily. So there's one course called the Emerging Teacher. Now, for the ones that is creating a lot of talk, the majors. We have 18 majors or areas of specialization. It's extremely difficult to try to put everything in one space or to deal with it in a virtual space like this. So the strategy we have used over the years is that each department reaches out to its own students with the schedule of the courses for the semester. When I checked the registration on the area and SMS today, that is a course selection, I found that a large number of first-year students are on the path. What I've recognized is that some persons are a little out of the loop, and the decision has been made. There's going to be a search, a coordination between admissions and department, starting today into tomorrow, to ensure that the departments have all the names of the persons who have been accepted, and they will add you to the group and they will get the information out. It's 18 specializations, really. It's difficult to put all of that in one space or to deal with it to the entire cohort. So what we're saying to you, if you are not yet have gotten the information, If you're not part of the WhatsApp group, the commitment is to go and check why is it that some persons are out of the loop, and they will fix that. And they're saying to me, Sir Suel, between tomorrow to Friday, we'll ensure everybody is on so that they can do their selection ahead of the September 5 registration. All right? So let's recap again, midpoint review. You have the general ed course, you have the professional studies courses, and within your department, you will know the courses that are specific to first year. A little caution. There's some university and college environment where you simply go and pick courses from a menu. What we do at Mico is to guide you. We give you a template because you have what you call prerequisites. In order to do C, you must have done B. In order to do B, you must have done A. We want to ensure that you graduate within the period. And so we have a fairly rigid structure. So don't just go and say, okay, I like that course and I'm going to pick it. No. Work with your department head, work with your advisors, and ensure that you have the appropriate course at the appropriate time so that you will graduate on time. All right? So I will follow up that, though I'm VP admin. I'll work with the academic division to ensure that everybody is in the loop. And so when I look back at the registration or this course selection on Monday, I'll see the full first year cohort. So that is the solution to that one. The next matter I just want to quickly recap for you, is that of the registration process. And we have been saying a lot about this, right? What we have is a system where you can do your fee payment and do that clearance while you're doing your course selection. The reason for that is that with the exception of those persons doing what we call the post-diploma 2-year degree and or graduate students, you do not pay per credit. So therefore, the fee is already fixed. So you would get your fee information, you can pay the fee using the regulations, using the payment plans, etc., and you apply for financial clearance, and again, that form is on the website. When you do that, the accounts department will receive that particular form or application, and they will process. But you don't have to wait on them to do your course selection. You go on the Arian and you select your courses once you have the information. You will not be able to proceed to final registration, but that is good. Final registration is by September 5. Whenever you select a course or reserve a course, we call it, it stays there. It doesn't disappear. It stays there on your account, all right? So you can reserve, you can get your guidance, you can do your thing, and you can complete nearer to the time. So what is going to happen? Student finance will do their relevant check, and in today's world, a lot of checks have to be done on these payments that are coming in, and they will go on the SMS and do a setting which makes you able to go to step 4. In the video, you learned that step 2 and 3 are not relevant to us because we're not using that financial interface. So you're at step 1. If you try to go, you'll be stopped at 3. Don't worry about it. As soon as you're cleared, you'll be able to go on to 4. We always say to you, go back to 1 to make sure everything is okay, and then it will just take you through to 4. If it is coming down to September, let's say September 4 into 5, and you can't go through, feel free to send an email to Student Finance to find out what is happening. And at the end of the day, if it is not your fault that you didn't make it on September 5, steps will be taken to ensure that you're fully registered. I just thought I wanted to raise those points because I see them coming in the chat and I see, I know the concerns, but we have them covered. All right. So those who don't know their specialization courses, department heads are trying to figure out why you were left out of the loop, why you're not in the groupings, and that will be done in short order. All right. So that's my little review. I'm sure there might be questions when we get to the question and answer session later. And that's the remark part of it, Mr. Moderator. My little welcome. I must say to you that I'm extending welcome to you, not just to Mico, but to the teaching profession as a veteran of over almost 40 years now. And I say that because when you enter a teacher training institution or teacher education, as some would prefer to call it, it's not just going to a school to do some courses. It's not just finding how you get over this one and get a grade and pass and get a piece of paper. It's not simply that. Let me explain. Some persons with certain knowledge and certain competencies develop those and use them to produce goods and services in the economy. And in other words, they are employees in their sectors. Some persons use it from an entrepreneurial point of view, and all those are important. When you decide to come into teacher education, what you have decided to do is to help others to develop those competencies. So teaching is not like engineering. Teaching is not like studying accounting. It's a little bit more than that, I dare say. Teaching is about developing competencies, technical ones, but certain attitudes and dispositions that will make your students respect you and be inspired by you. The preparation for teaching begins as soon as you enter a teacher education institution. And I want to tell you that in your own community, once they find out that you're in a teacher education institution, the expectations change. The standards are higher. So I want to welcome you. And I'm sure you know what you have signed up to. We have signed up to something quite noble, but the expectations are great. So students, as you come, there are the challenges and we'll work them through. But please put on that sort of attitude that you're now a young teacher in training. Not a grade 9 student giving trouble, not grade 10 and 11 creating antics, but you are now a young professional in training. Very important profession. And again, I welcome you and I'm confident that you will do well. All the best to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suil, and I'm sure that at this time, our students are feeling a little more comfortable, and because of those information that you have reiterated, and of course, they are better prepared and ready to move forward. At this time, we will go to the ICT services at the Mico, and we have two presenters, Mr. Richard Golson, Network Administrator, and Ms. Carleen Hines, SMS Administrator. They will now provide you with relevant information in that regard. So now I turn over to Mr. Golson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Golson. I'm having difficulties with my camera, so pardon the absence of seeing me. And I'm the network administrator here at the Mico, and I'll allow Ms. Hines to introduce herself.
Good evening, my name is Carleen Hines, and I'm the database administrator.
All right, so
we'll be sharing the presentation. So we'll interchange from time to time.
Right. So all right, so we are presenting on the services provided by the ICT department. Huh?
Are you seeing the presentation?
Right. Everyone seeing the presentation?
Yes. I'm seeing it, yes. And
presenting on the services provided by the department.
May I say
start with the introduction? Sorry?
May I say here before you begin, we will
go ahead.
That persons reserve their questions until at the end of all the presentations. We will take questions at that time.
Okay, all right. So we'll start with the introduction of the department, the email system, the student management system, learning management system, computer lab management. Well, as you see on the screen, computer systems and software support, multimedia technology support, help desk management, website management, and internet and wireless management. All right, so the ICT department is responsible for the maintenance and management, operations, and upgrade of the systems and multimedia technologies, along with the wireless and network infrastructure. So students requiring wireless access and so on will come to the department for support in gaining access to their wireless, and emails are also is also activated by the department and so on. The members of the department is responsible to work with key stakeholders of the Mico to ensure that the ICT is properly integrated in the classroom environment. All right, so the email is a primary means of communication between the faculty, the staff, and the students. The Mico email, the student email, is automatically generated by the Aaron along with your ID number when the student provides their information, and is uploaded by the Student Affairs Department. It is then activated by members of the ICT team, and after the email is successfully activated, the steps and instruction on how the students will access their email will be sent to the students. The other services we provide on the email are adding users, archive users, and deletion of users, which is very important because when the students leave the system, the email will be deleted. So because it's the property of the Mico, it's not a personal email. So I want everyone to understand. And we enforce the rules and communication of the email system. Therefore, if students are unable to communicate with certain groups, certain members of the community, they will forward their requests to the ICT, where we'll assist with those issues. Email group management, if you're on the students group and you're not able to access student email, you're not receiving student email, then you'll forward a request to us and we'll correct that as well. Storage, any problems you have with the email, technically, we are the group we talk to have those results. So this is a look of how the new welcome screen, after activate the email, this is the screen you'll get. The first pop-up page after the email is. I'll hand over to Ms. Hines. She'll elaborate more on the SMS system.
Okay, good evening again. All right, so the Aaron Student Management System. All right, as a database, Aaron stores the records of all students during their tenure at the Mico. These include programs, courses, student biodata, user information, registration information, academic progress, and timetables. The ICT department provides support to the students, to the users of these services at different levels, and oversees the general input of information on the system. We also play an important role in ensuring that the system is functional, operating at optimal proficiency, and up to date. Now, we have 5 Aaron services here. The first 2, account activation and register for classes, you would have covered before in previous presentations. However, I will just touch on those a little bit. And then we have 3 others, We have check registration status, print exam permit, and viewing of transcripts. Okay, let us make just a short look at the activation page. Now, I know most of you are used to the activation page. So if you're activating or you're going on the system for the first time, you will not press login. You will select account activation to the bottom of your page, press the button, and then the page will come up. Please ensure that you fill out the fields. Make sure you have your ID number, and your date of birth in the format in which it appears in the form. Once you fill out, you submit, activate, your account is activated. Once you have done that, you now use the password and your ID number your ID number and the password you have created to log into the account. Now, this is your Arion page. And if you look to the right of your page, you look to the left of your page, you will see your name, your ID number, and below that, your Mico email address. All right, so to activate your Mico email address, very importantly, you make a note. So you use your personal email address, make a note, or you can take a snapshot of it as well, and you send it to the help desk email address. It is helpdesk@theemail.edu.jm. So it's you make sure you have your full name, your ID number, and the assigned email address. Your Mico email will be activated and the instructions sent to you as how to access it. Now, all right, so we'll now look at the registration process just a little bit. All right, so if you look at the top of your page, you'll notice that you have the modules there, which are home. So you're on your home page. Previously went on the home page, there's LMS, which Mico doesn't use the LMS on Arion, but it uses Moodle as the LMS. So you'll be using on this, you'll be using academics and you'll also be using finance. You don't use resources. So if you look to the right of your page, you will see two modules, two selections at the top. You'll see check registration status, and you will see register for classes. For this, we'll look at register for classes. All right. So now we're going to select the courses, and you have everything in front of you. I'm not going through, I'm just going. So you select register for classes, which is the second option, and from there your page appears. Now if you notice, you have two, if you look down where you see term selection, you have two schedules open at the same time. So you will see open registration period, and it will have the registration period there. So for you as undergrad students, it's semester 1, 2025 student timetable undergrad. And that's to your left. If you look to your right, you also see open add drop periods. And this it says change registration. Now, this one only works if you have completed the registration, say accidentally or prematurely, and you need to make adjustments to your registration. So you would not be able to access the begin registration, which is the open registration anymore. So you can use that one. So if you're not sure, you can click on either one, and one of them will work for you. So if you're not sure which one to use and you click on begin registration and it tells you that you have already registered, you can go to change registration. If you go on change registration and it tells you that you're not registered, you go to begin registration. Okay, so at the end, and you go through and you select your courses, and at the end, please bear in mind that you're supposed to complete all 4 steps to complete your registration. So if you're stuck at step 3, it means that you would need financial clearance and you would need to continue liaising with the student finance department. Okay, so let us look at now check registration status. Now, if you remember, we were in the registration module before, and so at the top, so register for classes is below, and the first selection is check registration status. Now, you click on that. If you click on that, you will notice that the screen comes up. And this you can do this at any time. You can do this for any period. If you look at the top, you'll notice that you have the year 2025, the semester 1, and the schedule. Now the schedule is student timetable undergrad, your undergrad students. And if you, after you've completed that, you look below, you see show courses and registration information. If you click on that button, it shows you all the courses that you've selected. So if you notice, it has the class, the day, the lecturer, the room, it has all the information there. And if you notice, there's a message there that says registered in the pink block. It says register. If you look to the end, the far right, it says registered. But the flip side of this is if you are not registered, you put in the same information, you'll be seeing everything, you'll be seeing the courses, everything there, except that you notice that in that pink highlight, you will see not registered at the end, at the far right. So at that point, you will still have to liaise with student finance. And remember that you have to register for your classes in order to appear on the class list, in order to receive your exam permits at the end of the semester, in order to do your exam. And also you will not appear on the grade sheet if you have not completed your registration. Okay, so let us look at exam permit. Now, for exam permit, you go back to the top of your page and you will see where you have the home. This time now you'll scroll down to finance. And at finance, if you look down at the bottom of the bottom left of your page, you notice that you have student request. Below student request, you have exam permit. Now, if you click on exam permit, you will see a page appears with exam permit at the top, and you will have to enter as well the term. So it says to access, you have to put in the information. So you have to put in the semester 1, 2025 year. The campus is set, and you change this schedule to student timetable undergrad. To your right, press the submit button. Scroll down, and you see your exam permit appears with all the courses that you have selected. Again, if you are not registered, you will not be able to see the exam permit and print it. All right. The last one is viewing your grades at the end of the grade entry period. Then you have a grade approval period, and thereafter you will be able to view your grades. Now for this one, you go back to the academic module at the top, the home page, you go to academics, and if you scroll down your far left, the bottom you see records. At records, you click on all grades unofficial transcript. And click on it. And your transcript would appear. You see all the courses that you have done, the grades, the GPA, everything will be there. I think this is the end of this section, so we'll go back to Mr. Golson for a bit.
All right, thank you. All right. So we're going to touch on the rest of services supported by the ICT department, and we're on to Moodle now. So the IT team provides support, like upgrade and development of the website that hosts the Moodle platform. That is the platform where you go and register for classes and choose your courses and so on. So course assignments or academic materials are updated by the course coordinators and facilitators. Students having issues on the platform will normally send their issues to Mico online at the mico.edu.jm. The IT department provides support at the back end. So all other requests and issues are sent to the Mico Online department. So, all right, so this is a welcome page. You reach the Mico, the Moodle, by going to eCampus, which you will soon see. And this is a welcome page. And you use your Gmail account. So the platform is accessed by visiting ecampus.mico.edu.jm or by visiting the website, which is a longer way, and navigating to My Mico and then Online Systems tab, which is longer. You can just type ecampus at mico.edu.jm. And you click on the Google link to sign in. And you have to sign in. Remember, it's very important that you sign in with your Mico student email. You won't be able to access eCampus using a standard or Gmail account. You have to have the Mico email. I can't emphasize on that enough. So you go on this course, ensure that you're at Mico eCampus and not Google email, and enter your Mico email. Then your password. You'll see a student email address and password. And you click continue on the page, the first page. This is a notification that you're trying to sign into eCampus. And you click continue to proceed. And this is the home page of the Moodle platform. You can access the dashboard to see other areas of the platform. You click on dashboard, you see other areas like your email, SMS, Zoom, the Mico website, Turnitin. This is where the student, you can get access to library resources and other course categories. You can customize the page as well, change like name, background, and so on. But that's for another session. So the computer department also oversees all the labs on campus. We have several labs on campus that students can go and do their work and so on. So we have the technology lab, R.S. Robinson Computer Lab, the e-learning lab, mathematics lab, computer studies lab. There's 3 labs in total by computer studies area. The library, a lab by the library computer lab, writing center, continuing studies lab at the School of Continuing Studies, and NCB Icon Lab. So lab opening hours are from 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. with exception of the writing center and the computer lab. Because all right, so we are also responsible for all the computer systems, software support on campus. So the department is responsible to ensure that all computer system and network being utilized by staff members or students using computer lab are functional, up to date, and free of viruses. The installation and provision of software for the ICT systems is a critical role for the department, as this is how the users carry out their daily work. The department ensures that all software is available and free of errors. Use of multimedia technology using like projectors, sound systems, sound microphones, and so anything for collaboration. That collaboration is also managed by the department. So it's booked. It's usually booked by the lecturers to be used for classes and so on in areas that are not equipped with multimedia projectors, because there are a lot of rooms, there are a number of rooms on campus that are already equipped with multimedia technology that doesn't require the booking of projectors. And it is based on availability. We have devices, but it's also based on availability. And they have to request. The request has to be made prior to the lesson. So it's not, you have to make it like at least 3 hours before your lesson. Like you have classes then 8 a.m. in the morning. The booking has to be made the previous day. You don't just walk in and you book the projectors, and it usually be done through the lecturers. So you request the lecturers to make the booking. The help desk. is used to provide timely assistance to members of the Mico community. So all services previously mentioned, except for online, and Aaron has its own email, right? Aaron has an email address, but all other services are requested. Support for the services are requested through the help desk. And the email is helpdesk@mico.edu.jm, and it's a central point of contact for a person requesting devices, troubleshooting issues, ICT related incidents. If you want maintenance of devices, if your personal lab computer is down, you're unable to boot, you just send a request to the help desk, and then the assistance will be provided through the help desk. So on the website of the mico.edu.jm is also managed, serviced, and maintained by the ICT web team. So the team is responsible for the content, the accuracy, the updating of the website, and the information contained. And this is a look up, this is a look up the website for those who have not been on the Mico website, which is www.mico.edu.jm. Internet and wireless management, which a lot of students will be on wireless and internet. All those services are requested through the ICT department. So the institution relies heavily on internet and network resources to function. And it is without a doubt one of the most important service in the institution, as all the services prior runs on the internet. So any request for the internet access or internet usage or any issues you're having with the internet is done through the ICT department via help desk. And we have a network team responsible to ensure that all the staff and students have access to the internet at all times and through required channels. This is achieved through the installation of wireless access points or network devices across the campus. So upgrade of device firmware and application security rules to prevent and minimize network breaches. But the security of the personal devices, like firewalls and virus protection and so on. So if you want virus protection and so on your personal devices, that's the responsibility of the user. We are not responsible for the breach of a personal device or anything like that. So you guys have to secure your own devices and so on, ensure that you have virus protection and so on, because the internet is just a wide range of attacks every day. But we do not provide protection for personal devices, your phones and personal laptops and so on. So student may access the wireless network with the use of credentials. Their credentials will be sent to the new and returning students via email at the beginning of the semester. So when semester begins, you'll get the instructions of how to connect to the wireless and a document with acceptable use of wireless with the rules, you will have to go through to not what to do and what not to do on the wireless, which will prevent persons from abusing the use of internet. All right, so this is a map of the wireless areas on campus. So we have about, I'll say roughly 95% coverage. We have certain areas that doesn't require coverage based on the remote location. There's no coverage here, but 95% of the campus we have wireless access. Stronger in certain areas than some, but you'll have access. Areas that you are not able to pick up wireless, you can send a request to the help desk for us to troubleshoot and come see what issues you're having and have the matter rectified. But as I said, it's once you send a request to the help desk, we're ready and willing to assist with whatever IT matters you may have. And to go over, these are the important contact information. You reach the help desk by sending emails to helpdesk@themico.edu.jm, the online department for Moodle support. courses and so on to Mico online at the mico.edu.jm. Aaron support with issues you're having with Aaron to support at the mico.edu.jm. And you reach my website by www.mico.edu.jm and the Mico eCampus at ecampus.mico.edu.jm. Those are just the sites to reach, but the important contact information you can make note, which you can make note of. I'll leave it on the screen for about a minute or two that you can write down these information because these are important information that you'll use throughout the semester, throughout the year. You're here at the institution to reach out to us. I'll just give you guys a minute or two to write down these if you don't have them yet, and then continue. I think, well, this is the end of the presentation though. And that's it. So we'll look forward to hearing from you guys, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wilson and Ms. Hines, for those very vital and important information. And indeed, I am sure if our students follow those steps, they'll have no problem. And if they do, they know where to go. And so we will move to our health services. And we have our nurse, Yvonne Brown, matron, who will now take us through the necessary information that we need to have. Because of course, as you traverse our campus, you will necessarily need to visit our nurse station. So we now will have Ms. Brown at this time to do her presentation.
Good evening, incoming students. Trust you're all well. And welcome to the Mico University College. So my name is Nurse Yvonne Brown, and I'm one of the college nurses here at the university. And I'll just talk to you a little bit about the services, the health services offered at the university. All right. Where is the health center located? All right. The health center is located beside Mills Hall. We're also located beside the bookshop. We're smacked right in the center. All right. And our opening hours, it's from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. All right. And we have two full-time nurses, myself, Nurse Brown, and Nurse Hart. All right. And I'll just tell you a little bit about our services. We have visits to the doctor. We have two doctors at the university. We have Dr. Paul Wright, and we also have Dr. Jacinth Wright. All right. Dr. Paul Wright is available on a Monday morning. He's here only on a Monday morning only, and he's here from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Dr. Jacinth Wright, on the other hand, she comes to us and she has her clinic on a Wednesday in the afternoon from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. All right. Now we use the health card to see the doctor. If you have your health card, you use your health card and you do not pay any additional cash. All right, so it's so important for you to get your health card. And I know your health card is, the cost is in your miscellaneous fee, all right? We ask that you make an appointment to see the doctor when you can, please, you know? So we're asking that. All right, so we also have visits to the school nurse, right? So if you are compromised, if you're ill, if you're physically ill, if you're not well, try to make your way to the health department for assistance from the nurse. All right. If you need to rest for a while, we have a sick bay area and where we have beds and you're able to rest for a while. We do have limited medication. We have limited oral medication, like for allergies, like the DPH. We ask though that you get your by-mouth medication like your Panadol and your Advil and so forth. You are responsible for that. All right. We also have topical medication for your skin rashes also. We have creams for like allergies. We have antibiotic cream. We have like the muscle rubs, and we also have like the sprays for the muscles and so forth. We do wound dressing. If you have a wound that needs to be taken care of, you can come to us and we will assist you with that. All right. In terms of someone who is not well and you need to, you're going to be missing your class. Don't just miss the class like that. You can make contact with us by phone or ask someone to come and visit us so that you can get what is called a sick pass or a class pass, so that you're marked sick versus absent. You know, you're absent from class, but your lecturer is aware that you are not well. Again, you can ask a class member to come to us, you know, right? Don't wait until after the fact and then you try to backdate it, because we wouldn't be able to do that. All right. In terms of if you have an incident on campus, if you're injured on campus, all right? So you're sick, and then if you're injured on campus, right? Please note that and injuries are usually accidental, right? If you're injured on campus, it must be reported to the health department. All right. And emergency care is going to be rendered. All right. So if you have to be taken to a medical facility, then the arrangements will be made. All right. In addition to that, we have an arrangement with the Medical Associates Hospital. And there's also the UHII and Kingston Public Hospital. It depends on what is happening with you. All right. So we ask that you try to let us know what is happening. At some point shortly after your injury, we would need some documentation. So we'd ask you to complete an incident report form. All right, and this is to preserve proper documentation. Usually the university covers the costs for these type of injuries if you're accidentally injured on campus. All right. In terms of mental health, because mental health is real, we ask that if you are compromised, if you're having any issues, any mental issues, you can check in with us. All right. Examples, if you are having anxiety issues, if it's stress related, you're unable to cope, if you're feeling depressed, if you just want to talk, visit the health department, check in with us. All right. We try to work with you, we try to help you. We can always allow you to see a doctor, or we can refer you to our counselor, all right, or guidance counselor. But check in with the health department, all right. Emergencies for females, we do have sanitary napkins. You come over, you know, you can always get that from us. Also, be prepared, but we will offer you. All right, in terms of health cards, we ask that you go ahead and do your apply for your health card online, and you collect your health card from the Student Services Department. So although you use your health card at the health department, it's not issued by the health department, right? You usually collect your health card from the Student Services Department, all right? So our students would get their cards through Guardian Life. Our staff members, they get their cards through Sagicor, all right? And this is especially for athletes. We also have bandages and ice packs, because a lot of times you guys experience a lot of sprains and so forth. Come over and you know, you can benefit from the bandages and the ice packs, right? And if you need a referral to like the physiotherapist, Dr. Paul Wright is in office usually on a Monday morning, and he is the ideal person to refer you for physiotherapy, all right? And so we ask that you make use of that in conjunction with your coach, of course, all right? But the physiotherapist is going to need a referral letter, all right? You can get that from Dr. Paul Wright. In terms of your mandatory incoming medicals, these are mandatory, all right? All incoming students, all incoming year one students must submit a medical as part of your registration process, all right? All completed medicals along with the verification slip must be signed by the medical doctor and taken to the health department, all right? Now, we ask that you take along your immunization card when you're coming with those two documents. And at that point, we ask you to complete a docket, a medical docket, all right? To date, I've seen 47 completed medicals, right? So I'm gonna ask that you please keep the medicals coming in, all right? And you know where we're located. We're smacked right between Mills Hall and the bookshop, all right? So if you need to make contact with the health department, our email is healthcenter@themico.edu.jn, and it's HEALTHCENTRE, healthcenter@themico.edu.jn. All right. So we only have 47 medicals, and we're asking you to please continue carrying them in. All right. So at this point, I'd just like to welcome you again. All right. And thank you for having me.
Okay. All right. So that was very vital information. And let me say that we care about your well-being. And so we will make every effort to ensure that you have a healthy stay right here at the Mico University College. And so we ask that you do the medicals and let us have them, and have them very soon. All right, so we will now hear from the Student Services Department. And so we have Mr. Nicholas Brown. He's a Student Services Supervisor, and he's ready to share with you some significant information that you need to have. So let's have Mr. Brown at this time.
Yes, good afternoon. Sir Moderator, can you confirm if you're seeing my screen?
Yes, I am seeing your screen clearly.
Perfect. Yes, so good afternoon again, all protocol observed. It is with great pleasure that I extend a warm welcome to you as you enter this noble institution, the Mico. Consider this occasion to be the real commencement of your professional development. It is natural that at this point in time, you will have high expectation and some anxiety. I wish to assure you that at the MICO, there are programs and services that will be solid building blocks to enable you to achieve your vision for the future. At the MICO, we pay particular attention to your holistic development, and this means that we expect that you will pursue and excel in the academic programs of your choice. But in addition, that you will be involved in several activities such as music, drama, sports, clubs and societies, and different community outreach initiatives. I encourage you to stay focused and, above all, be guided by the core values of the University College. Now, our core values are leadership, integrity, service to others, and excellence in performance. So you learn them and you will adopt them. On behalf of the Department of Student Services, I welcome you to this exciting educational arena, the MICO. And we wish for you a productive and fulfilling stay with us. Now meet the team. All right, so speaking to you is Nicholas Brown, the supervisor. I play as the striker in the department. To your left, we have the center back, Miss Patricia Pinto. And her title says center back because she always have my back. And below, you're seeing Miss Kadeen Bedward, and she is the midfielder for the department. Now, I want to encourage you to unlock opportunities, achieve your dreams, and shape a brighter tomorrow. On screen, you're seeing some of the services that the Student Services Department is responsible for. However, I will only be going through about 2 or 3 important services. So we're responsible for health insurance, we're responsible for student welfare program, we are responsible for that should be STUDY instead of STODY, the study and work program. We are responsible for career specialization and placement program. We manage the JAMVAT program. We're responsible also for the MSVP, that's Micro Student Volunteerism Program. We also manage the Disability Support and Equal Opportunities Program, and we manage the off-campus accommodation as well. Now, the first thing that we'll look at is the health insurance. So each student is required to subscribe to the health insurance program authorized by the institution, the MICO, right? And the health insurance is covered in your miscellaneous fee. However, there's a process by which you can obtain your health insurance card. and I want to do the process in real time. So I'm going to pause sharing. And I'll continue sharing. Sir moderator, are you seeing my screen? Trying to get a confirmation. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Perfect, good. All right, students, so what you will do is you will go to Google search engine, you will type in MYMICO, that's my Mico. You'll press enter. You will select my Mico, and it will take you to that area where you can apply for the health insurance card. All right, so once it load up on screen, you're seeing where you can apply for the health insurance card. So you'll click on the form, the Google form, and a form will pop up here. Currently, the form has been closed and it will be open on the 8th of September. So what you will do is to populate the form with the relevant information, and then we will request a card for you from the provider. Being as though I'm here now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to illustrate also how you can go about applying for the off-campus accommodation. So what you will do is you'll go to the Mico website. So you can type in Mico on your Google search engine. The core file is the Mico website. That's what we want. All right, good. There we go. Yes, so we go to the Mico website. Once you're on the Mico website, at the top you'll see My Mico. When you scroll down to Student Services, you will see a list of some of the services that we offer, right? You go all the way down to off-campus accommodation and you click on it. Once you click on it, you'll see the Google form that you're seeing on screen. Complete the form and the Student Services Department will respond to you. Currently, we have about 161 rooms, or partners, in fact, have 161 rooms available inside and outside of Kingston. They are in safe and convenient location, and they're also affordable. And just to be clear, I think the farthest location is like 20 minutes from the Mico. All right, so let's continue. So students, as I said earlier, it's mandatory that you complete the online Google form so that you can obtain your health insurance card. Health insurance card can be obtained by both undergraduate and graduate student. So once you pay your miscellaneous, you complete your registration, then you can apply for the card, right? What the card covers, it covers doctor visit, covers specialist consultation, it cover hospital miscellaneous, it cover lab x-ray, and it also cover dental, optical, and prescription. Right, so ensure that you get your card sorted out once you're fully enrolled. Next, we have identification card. All right. So what happened in the past is that we would have allowed you to complete the Google form that you see next to the health insurance form. However, because we had changed the format of the ID card so that it is more authentic, there's a new process, right? So on the 5th of September, we will give you a date as to when we will be bringing the supplier to come on campus to take photos of you and to process the card. However, it's mandatory that all students must have their identification card so that you are recognized as a student of the university college. The student identification card cannot be issued until you have completed your registration. So if you're not registered, when the supplier come on campus to take photo and to process the card, you won't be eligible to be a part of it. All right, so you need to complete your registration. When you get your card must be visible at all time. And on request from any of our authorized officer, you must be able to provide your student identification card. I also want to bring to your attention the study work program, right? So the study work program is geared towards what we do is we create opportunity for students to earn while you're studying, right? So the department will from time to time provide opportunity, whether it's inside or outside of the institution. We liaison with the different departments to find out if they need persons to carry out duties. And then what we will do is we would advise, we will run an interview process, and then we will place students. You must be a registered student to be a part of the work and study program. 200 hours of work experience is required. And also the payment can go towards your tuition, right? So if you're having a little challenge, let's say with your tuition and you want, to work, you can work and a portion of it can go towards your tuition to offset tuition costs. And that brings you to the end of my short presentation. On screen, you're seeing the email address for the department, student.services@themico.edu.gm. Any queries, any concern, feel free to email us. We operate in real time, just like the US Embassy. So you will be contacted once you reach out to us. All right. I await your questions later on in the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. And we are down to our last. And so the question and answer segment is right at our heel. But I would like to, just before I bring on the question and answer segment, I'd like to say that just to give my closing, and I want to go back to the devotional text, which I think is very vital and important to each and every one. Joshua 1 verse 9. You need to know that God is saying to you that He has commanded you to be strong, to be of good courage. You are not to be afraid as you come here and to seek to achieve your goals. You must not be dismayed, though you may go through challenges and difficulties. Be strong. You know why? For God is with you. He will always be with you once you trust Him, and He will be with you all through your 4 years of study. And finally, I want to say to you this quote from Leo Tzu: "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So just take it one step at a time, trust in God, and you will be successful." So at this time, I will call on Mr. Chad Goldberg to administer the question and answer segment. And I thank you very much for having me as your moderator this evening. Mr. Goldberg.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right, thank you, Mr. Moderator, for the warm welcome and the invite. So we're going to make this question and answer session as short and as quickly as possible, because we know it's down into the evening hour, and we know we have a lot of things to take care of, especially those who are just now settling into the tertiary institution. All right, so we just want to formally welcome you all again to the Mico University College. We wanted to know that this is one of the premier places to be, the oldest teacher training institution in the Western Hemisphere, and you would have made no other better choice than to be here at the Mico. All right, so we're going to go into the questions. So I'm going to take a look in the chat, as well as we are streaming live on YouTube, and there's some questions in the chat. So we're going to monitor both of them as seamlessly as possible as we can. All right, so one of the questions we see, I see someone asking, how do we apply for the health card? Mr. Brown would have went through that process in terms of it's an online application. We are reminding persons that in order for you to apply for the health card, first one, you must pay the miscellaneous fee in full. All right, because a portion of the miscellaneous fee covers your health insurance. And two, for you to be eligible to receive the health card, apart from just applying, you have to be a registered student at the Mico University College. So that means that you have to follow the necessary guidelines. And we see the questions keep coming in, and the questions are pretty much similar to what would have been presented to you and what would have been sent out in the email as well. So we're asking persons to read through the email properly. Don't just open the email while you're on the go and just to browse through and skip through. Take some time. We know we're all busy, but take some time to sit down, go through the emails that has the information properly, so you can grasp the gist of it and what you are expected to do. All right. So as I said, the miscellaneous fee has to be paid in full, for the health card to be requested, and you have to be a registered student at the Mico University College. And Mr. Brown indicated that the process is online, and they would have sent out the information to you all. All right, in terms of payment method, so we see someone asking what's the payment method in terms of online payment. So we always say to persons, we prefer for you to use the Paymaster option. So you can go to any Paymaster outlet, or you can create your online Paymaster profile. You will be paying to the Mico University College, that's the name of the payee, and the account number will be your specific identification number that you would have received from the Mico. So all the persons who are wondering about their ID numbers, once you receive your acceptance letter, you will see the ID number in the acceptance letter. All right, so once you have received the acceptance letter, just check it properly. You'll see your ID number. For persons who have applied for this academic year, normally your ID number would start with 2025, but there are the exceptions to persons who would have applied in previous academic year and are just starting. Normally your ID number would begin with the year you applied, be it 2024, 2023, 2025. So just look at the acceptance letter, you will see the identification number. So for the Paymaster payments, you will need your identification number, the name of the payee, which is the Mico University College, and you're paying to them, right? And there are several options. So if you're paying your tuition, your miscellaneous fee, or if you're making requests for status letters. All right. I'm hoping that we have persons remaining from the Moodle. Miss Hines, if you're still here, because there are one or two questions I'm seeing in the chat. Because I see someone says, what is the site to register for class? So no, there's not a site to register for class. You should activate your Arion profile on the Mico, and you would have received your timetable from your department. So when you log on to the Arion, as they had indicated the steps for you to select your courses. So the first thing you would do is to select your courses based on your timetable. Now, in selecting your courses, you will reach up until step 3 that you cannot move any further. That's where student finance comes in to give you financial clearance and prompt you to move forward in your registration. So once you have selected your courses, you're at step 3, we would expect that you'd have made payments, pay your miscellaneous fee in full and make payments towards the tuition. For those who are on scholarships or grants, your tuition also would be funded by those entities, and you would still apply for financial clearance, right? We would have sent out the email with the link. You just click the link, complete the Google form. For those who are on scholarships and grants, you would upload the letter or the email you'd have received to say you have received the scholarship or grant, and you would apply for financial clearance. Now, once we get to your name and your account is in good standing, we'll send you an email to say you may now proceed to step 3 of your registration. So upon receiving this email to say you're financially cleared, you would then go back on the Aaron. We're at step 3, but then you'll go back to step 2, confirm what we would have selected, then move forward to step 3, and then to complete the registration, where we're asking all students to ensure that you would have selected all your courses. Before you complete registration. All right, it's very important for you to ensure if you have not selected all your courses and you'd have received the financial clearance email, do not complete the registration. Wait until you have selected all your courses before you complete your registration. All right. All right, let's continue. All right, so as we said to persons, I see someone ask, when is the official first day of school? Again, this email would have been sent to the President's Bulletin, also in the acceptance letter to indicate the specific day when classes will begin. So we're asking persons to take their time, go through the emails that would have been sent to you, especially your acceptance letter. Majority of the information that persons are querying is in those emails and letters.
Mr. Goldburn.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me just interject there. That we originally were scheduled to open on September 1, but due to the general elections and our students are from across the island, we decided we wouldn't allow them to come in and then have to go back. So classes begin on September 8. Those who will be coming into residence, once you have done the clearance, you'll be advised to report September 4. But they should also remember, Sir Goldburn, that the final orientation date is Friday, September 5. Part-time and everybody, we want you to come in so you can get your tour of the premises, etc. I just thought I would interject there, Sir Goldburn.
Yes. Thank you very much for the added information. All right, so as Mr. Sewell said, class officially begins September 8th. All right. I see someone asking about the discount. All right, so how the discount goes in terms of paying a tuition fee. To be eligible for the discount, you would have to pay the miscellaneous fee and the tuition fee in full by September 30. So by September 30, if you have paid all the tuition in full, paid the miscellaneous in full, then you will be eligible for a discount on the tuition fee only. Right? So when you receive that discount on the tuition fee, it will be applied to your account. Persons have two options. You can either, when the period comes around, we tell you when, for you to make a request for the refund of that discount that you would have received for paying your tuition in full, or what we would suggest is to let that amount stay on your account so that the next academic year, your miscellaneous fee will be short or less, or your tuition will be less. So next academic year, that amount, it creates to roughly about $12,000 something. So if you let that amount remain, then come in the new academic year, when you're paying a miscellaneous fee, you may pay the difference, or if you're paying a tuition fee, you may pay that difference. All right, so we're going through our see what other question is there. All right, so someone says, I applied for financial clearance from August 11. I'm a scholarship recipient. How long does it take for me to be cleared? All right, so if you applied August 11, you started the 8th, based on the date you stated, I believe would have already cleared you. So if you're a new student, I believe would have already cleared you for registration. So we urge that you check your email, and normally if we're sending you the email for financial clearance, we'll use the email address that you would have used to complete the form. So we're asking you just to double check your email, The email should be coming from Student Finance to say that you are financially cleared and the process in terms of completing the registration. So we're asking you to double check your email. All right. All right. So someone asked, can forms be submitted via the email or must they be dropped off at school? You'd have to specify as to which forms you're talking. I believe in terms of additional documentations where admission is concerned, I believe they would want you to drop off the documents because, of course, they would want to see the original and then to take copies of the document. I realized there are some persons that came to the office inquiring about the payment plan because when you're completing the financial clearance form, when it asks how you intend to pay your tuition, either be it in full, per semester, or monthly, if you select monthly, you'll get a prompt to say that you'll be sent a promissory note for you to complete. So we're asking persons just to wait for that documentation. We want persons to get through the registration process to register themselves before we then send you the documentation. And it's a one-page document that we will send to your email, and it will only go for the persons who would have selected on the form that they are paying per month, right? Those persons will get the document in their email, and you're required to sign the document and return to Student Finance. If you're out of town, then you may be permitted to send it via email, but persons who are in and around town, we ask you to drop off the physical copy. And if you know someone who is coming by the college, you can ask them to drop it off on your behalf. Just send an email to Student Finance saying that someone will be dropping off the promissory note. So just telling persons to look out for that email. When it comes to that time, we will send you the email with the document. You print, sign, and return it to the Student Finance Department. On the same note as the payment plan, someone had asked if you start on the monthly payment plan, if in the next semester you may switch. The long and short of it is no. Once you've committed to the payment plan, your tuition would be adjusted because the payment plan attracts a 7.5% interest. So we add that 7.5% interest to the total tuition and then divide it by 8. So if you have committed to the monthly payment plan, you will be expected to pay the entire amount in full. All right, I'm reminding persons the payment plan is divided into 8 months for the academic year. In your first month, you will pay the first month installment along with the miscellaneous fee in September. And then for the remaining 7 months, you will pay the stipulated amount. All right, so then they would have sent out the documentation with the payment plan. We're asking persons to review the documents because persons still asking what's the amount, and the information would have been sent to you in your email just to review the documentation. In short, the tuition is divided into 8 equal parts, and persons pay that on a monthly basis. And then once you've made your payment, you just send the receipt to Student Finance. On the note of paying tuition, we're just reminding persons for those who will be making bank transfers, we're asking you when you make the bank transfer, that confirmation page that you would have received to say it was successful, we're asking you to send that receipt to Student Finance email along with your ID number and your name. And if someone is paying on your behalf, ask them for the receipt so that you may submit it to Student Finance so that we know that the money is for you. Because usually when persons make bank transfers, when the bursar receives the transfers in their account, the account statements rather, not sometimes the full name also does not show up in our system on our end. So we're asking persons for those who have made bank transfers to send those receipts to Student Finance email along with your name and your ID number. If someone is paying for you on your behalf, ask them to give you the receipt and you submit same to us, again with your name and ID number. All right, so some persons are asking when will we get any update on the STEM scholarship? At present, those who would have applied for the STEM scholarship, I believe you should be receiving your acceptance letters in your email. If not, if you're on campus, you may visit the mathematics department and get an update on that as well. If someone says, I am only seeing some of the courses. So if you're not seeing all the courses based on your timetable, we're asking you to be a little more patient, give some time, and ensure that you would have selected all your courses before you complete your registration. All right, so someone asks, what percentage of the tuition needs to be paid for clearance? For Student Finance, as a new student, in order to be financially cleared, the miscellaneous must be paid in full, and an amount towards the tuition. So any amount you can afford towards the tuition, you can pay that in the meantime, but the miscellaneous fee itself must be paid in full. And then we will allow for that amount to be deemed as financially clear. Right. Taking a time going through the chat. All right. So if there's any question or so that we might have missed, persons have the opportunity. I know some persons have been calling. Yes, go ahead.
All right, so as it relates to the STEM, I'll just add some more information to that. So once they have not yet gotten a call on their STEM applications, the departments are processing them. They will be interviewed, so they will be contacted by the department at interview day set. And once they have been interviewed, then they will be aware if they're accepted or not, and they will receive their acceptance letter.
Okay, thank you. I hope we were listening just now. The applications are still being reviewed, and then persons will be called for their interviews. And then some persons might be wondering, based on this process, if they will meet the deadline for registration, which is September 5th. Now, how the Mico operates is somewhat flexible. So in the event that the issue is not on your end, the student, we will make provisions for registration for students, right? So for those who are on the, say, applied for STEM scholarship, if you have been interviewed late, if you have received your acceptance letter late, if you were not able to complete the financial clearance form because of those factors outside of your control, then the Mico University College will exercise some form of flexibility to accommodate you.
Chad.
Right. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm seeing a question here in the Zoom platform. Are there dorms available for those who are scholarship recipients, those who receive late acceptance, or is it that we off-campus residents still applies?
All right.
Sorry, let me take that, Mr. Goldburn. Yes. As I explained this,
yes, go ahead.
We're not trying to discriminate in any way, but this year in particular, there has been a large influx of rural students. And so our accommodations were filled out pretty soon. All right. In fact, it's the first year we're experiencing this. So two things will happen. Student services can assist in providing, or pointing persons to private accommodation. And certainly where spaces arise as persons who do not take up the offer, we will make that known. But for now, we cannot promise that there will be accommodation on campus. You would also let them know, Chad, that the $70,000 grant from STEM can be used for accommodation, but if they don't use it, it becomes a grant that they get when we get the money from the Student Loan Bureau. Is that so? But we really can't at this time promise accommodation because we're oversubscribed. And this is the first time for many years.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Mr. Sewell. And persons must also bear in mind, especially those who are receiving scholarship, what you're really getting from the entity, most entities at this point in time, is a commitment to pay, right? And then, as Mr. Sewell says, there are rural students who are already applying for dorm, all right? And they're really paying upfront, to secure their spot on the dorm. So we see how best the Mico can accommodate you, because we really don't want to let anyone down. As Mr. Sewell had mentioned regarding the STEM scholarship, all right. For the boarding fee, we know that for this year the boarding fee is $76,000 for double occupancy per semester. All right. So persons who would have received, especially the STEM scholarship, which is covering part of your boarding, you would then be expected to pay the remaining amount. For persons who are on the STEM that will not be using the boarding facility, you can then apply for the grant to be sent to you. However, when we get to that aspect, we will then send out an email. So the email will tell you exactly what to do. It's a Google form that you will fill out and provide your banking details for us to process the payment being sent to you. And we must remind persons, even though we put it on the form, you must have the account in your name. If it's a shared account, your name must be on the account, because we will not be paying to any third-party holders. All right. So any account information that you're submitting for that $70,000 grant from STEM, your name must be on the account. If we kind of press for time, I believe we might be able to wrap up the question and answer session now. Let me just quickly check to see if there's any other burning issue.
Chad?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I just see another question here. Based on the link that is supposed to be attached to the email for registration, what should I do if I haven't gotten a link?
All right. So, Tad, I think we'd have to give them the email address for admissions, if you recall that. The admission department, just in case they got the email, because the acceptance email automatically carries a link. But if that happens for some reason, they just need to contact the admissions department to resend it.
I believe, all right, so in the Mico email, once you type, I think if you type admissions, the email should automatically come up.
I think it's
Or if you type
enrollment
student
at the
affairs,
Mico. It's enrollment at the Mico,
yes, it
but
should come up.
I'm a little concerned here. I think if a person gets an email without the link, that person should probably try to call them or something. Because the way it is structured, that shouldn't happen.
Yes, I believe so as well.
Yeah, I think they need to call student affairs.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
Yes. And then we're just informing students to look out for an email. So tomorrow we'll be sending again the email for the payment options. So you'll see the payment options for day students, they pay to the NCB account. For evening students, they pay to the Sagicor account. And also there's an international foreign exchange account for persons who will be sending payments overseas. All right. So we're going to send that email tomorrow. So look out for that email along with the email for persons to complete the form for financial clearance. All right, and for those who said they have completed the financial clearance form at an early point, we're going to double check, because once we send the email, we make a note along your name to say the email was sent. But in the meantime, we're asking persons to check your email. So whatever email address you use to complete the form, that is the email address that we would have sent the clearance to. So we're asking you to make a check, search in your email for student finance. You can search for 5-star clearance to see if you would have received the email, but so for some reason, you would have probably overlooked it. Check your spam to see if it's in your spam. Check your trash to see if you have accidentally deleted the email. And on our end, we'll check again tomorrow to see if we would have left out anyone. All right, so I believe that we can end the question and answer session for this evening. We just want to encourage persons, as we said before, to take the time out to read through the emails that we'd have received, read through the documentation in your emails, read through them carefully. And then if there's something you don't understand or fully grasp, then you may reach out to the departments for additional explanation. All right, so we just want to thank everyone for being a part of the session. We just want to bring the question and answer session to a close. Mr. Moderator, Mr. Sewell, if you have anything additional you want to add, you may go ahead.
Yeah, over to moderator.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Goldburn. And I just want to remind our students that we continue tomorrow evening at 5, and September 5th is face-to-face. So these are very important. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. and September 5th, we have our face-to-face. So please remember those. And that begins at 8 a.m. in the morning. So please make note of that. And thank you all very much for being with us. Want to say thanks to Ms. Bowen, who gave us the devotion, and Mr. Sewell for his welcome and remarks, Mr. Golson, and Ms. Hines for sharing with us from the ICT services. department, and also Miss Yvonne Brown from the Health Center, and also Student Services, Mr. Nicholas Brown, and finally Mr. Chad Goldburn, who take us through the question and answer segment. It has been a very wealth of information session that we have had, and I am thankful for all those presenters who have made clear the steps that you need to follow, and I encourage you again to be strong and trust in God and just take it one step at a time, and all will be well. Thank you very much, each and everyone. Have a good night.
Thanks to moderator. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.